So this particular week's Unit 4 discussion specifically says, Final Project Discussion 1. In the previous 2 weeks, you have learned about the applications of decision structures and loop statements. The final application asks you to create an application for a casino simulation. You will need to use both structures. Study the requirements of the final project. How would you implement the decision and loop structure in the final project? Describe one case that you would use a decision structure, if, else, or switch, and loop structure, do, while, or for loop. Share your algorithm. Make no mistake, this is an attempt to get you to do the final long before it's actually due. This is to get you to start to think about the final long before it's actually due. It would behoove you not to just give this a moment's thought, but to actually read the instructions for the final and come up with a plan for the solution itself that includes a certain amount of detail. The reason for it is this, and I mentioned this in my general announcements. People run out of time all the time doing this. People have a tendency to, I'll get to it, and then it gets to that week and something happens and they can't get to it. This will allow you to do the pre-planning for your final before the actual final occurs. The algorithm is not necessarily going to be right, and it's not going to be wrong, and it's not going to, people aren't going to pass judgment, but this starts you down the path of going, this is what the final is about, this is how I'm going to solve the final, and these are all the things involved. Do not mistake the purpose of this particular discussion, because in the final week, after it's done, I do not have the flexibility to take things in really late. So if you don't make it in, you won't necessarily have the final, and of course you won't necessarily have the points either. So this kind of lays the groundwork, it lays the foundation far, far out, so you can actually take a look at this. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what's required of you this week. As far as the discussion goes, it's using if, else, or switch, and using the do, while, or for loop. Please take a look at this. Please take this seriously. Begin to walk the path of the final, because if you wait to the final week, there probably won't be enough time. And if you're telling me you don't have enough time and you're not putting this much effort into it beforehand, there's not much I can do. Truthfully, there's not much I can do, even if you tell me there's not enough time in the last week, because I have grades due by a certain time. Thank you very much for your time. Continue your discussions. Continue your posts. They've been excellent.